Lexurious Fleet, welcome back again. Acura has finally shown us the first glimpse of the upcoming MDX redesign, and they're claiming it's the new flagship for the brand. The next generation Civic has been leaked, and the Q3 sales numbers have been tallied, and a few brands are really suffering. Over at the Acura newsroom, Acura's best-selling vehicle, the MDX, and America's all-time best-selling three-row luxury SUV gets its most ambitious design ever, and the MDX takes on flagship role with dramatic gains in style, performance, and craftsmanship. Now they're going to be debuting this MDX now in prototype form on October 14th, and I reached out to Acura and they're like, yeah, well, prototype is going to be unveiled on the 14th, and I'm going to be able to show you guys that as soon as the embargo lifts, so make sure to subscribe if you're not. I do expect them to unveil the entire design, the full production design this year, but Acura didn't say that. That's just what my gut feeling is telling me. So this will usher new levels of Acura design, performance technology, and craftsmanship, and assuming the mantles of brand's new flagship model. So we know there's going to be a Type S. Well, pretty much. Everything's guaranteed to have it a Type S going forward for the most part. So the top end will have the 355 horsepower, turbocharged V6, and then the base engine is going to be the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with about 270 horsepower. Now, Acura shared with us a sketch, and here it is in, 80s synthwave neon light attire. It looks pretty badass. But you can see these lights, the jewel headlights, look very similar to the new TLX. And this front end, guys, looks so on cue to the design leak that we got a few months back of the new MDX, I should say. They're really emphasizing the strong line around the front and sides of the body. And then if you guys look, this is a much stronger coupe-like rear compared to the current MDX. And they also gave us a video, so let's go ahead and watch the video. I'm gonna pause it at certain times to be able to give you my point of view on it. First glimpse here is the tail lights, and we'll get a better look at them here in a second. And you see this line going all the way across. Let me mute it. The music on here is pretty obnoxious. So, all right. Press play. There's the taillights. Don't they look identical to the TLXs? Yeah, they absolutely do. So then right here, this is the window line. And the window line here goes up right after the door crease, which is very similar to that leaked image that we got a few months ago. But it really is, excuse me, a departure from the current MDX's more turtle-like window outline. Really all we can take away from here is a massive panoramic sunroof that is going to definitely take over the majority of the roof. This little dot here might be the antenna fin, but really that's all we get. And then we get to zoom out into the MDX Prototype. World debut 10/14, definitely stop by because I will be talking about it more then. But I'm pretty excited for this vehicle. It's definitely going to put Lexus in an awkward situation because the RX is pretty dated at this point. It came out in 2016, which isn't that old, but we were expecting more of a redesign sooner rather than later. And it looks like we might not get a redesign for the RX until 2022 as a 2023 model. That's like best case scenario in my opinion. The RX has never been able to keep up with the MDX in terms of usability and space, more practicality with the 3 rows. So it will be interesting to see if Lexus comes out with that TX that they trademarked to combat the MDX and other 3-row luxury SUVs. So we'll see on that, but Acura's, I expect them to continue forward and to continue to kick butt with the upcoming MDX. So, and guys, if you enjoy my content on Japanese and Korean autos, please subscribe and hit the bell icon as well as the like button while you're at it. We're well on our way to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot do it without the 83% of you who are not subscribed. I'm really excited to welcome you to the Lexurious Fleet with open arms. Moving forward, guys, we have a couple things here about the Civic. Over at Motor Trend, this is the leaked image of the upcoming Civic redesign. It looks very Honda Accord-like to me, and the Civic continues to grow. No longer are we going to see Del Sol-like Civics rolling around, but This leak is extensive, showing everything from the steering wheel design. This rear end really looks like a lot like the Kia Stinger, so I don't know how I feel about that. The front end looks pretty plain. The side looks a lot like the current Civic. I mean, this thing just looks huge. This lift back looks absolutely massive. And then here's another look of a different design of the rear end, which looks less like that Kia Stinger. And then here is the sedan version, which, guys, this thing looks enormous. This looks so much like an Accord here. And then if we go over to Motor 1, they actually got spy shots of it, and it does look every bit as big as those concept images, or I should say those patent images that got leaked. So with the Civic getting this big, I don't really understand why they would need to have a Civic and an Accord. I don't think they're going to cancel the Accord, but this thing just seems really, really big to me, and I don't know how that's going to eat into the Accord sales. Maybe they cancel the Accord because sedans aren't doing so hot. I know Honda still sells a lot of Accords, but this Civic just looks massive, and I probably said that 100 times already, but I'll see you guys in the comments on what you think about this enlarged next generation Civic. And guys, we're going to go over all the sales numbers for Q3 of the entire automotive industry here in the United States. But I wanted to point out a couple things here, and feel free to pause at any given time so you can dig into these numbers over automotive news. Lexus really had a great Q3, up 2%. And just looking at this entire column here, there's not a lot of companies that are in the positive here. Even if we look at parent company Toyota, they're down almost 13% on the quarter and almost 20% on the year. But Mazda, coming out of left field here, up about 7% on the quarter, and they're only down about 2%, guys. Only down about 2% on the year. That is incredible job done by Mazda. The CX-30, I think, is a big part of that. Hyundai and Kia doing really, really well overall. So if you look at Kia Motors of America, they're up 3.9%. Hyundai and Kia combined are up 0.9%. Hyundai's down just a little bit on Q3. If we look at the entire year, they're not suffering too bad. Overall, they're down about 10% if you add them all up. Now Genesis, guys, Genesis is really struggling. I looked at their individual car numbers. Looks like the G70's not doing so well. They still sell by far the most of the G70. The G80 has done the worst out of the brand. I think most buyers know that there's a new generation G80 coming out maybe by the end of this year. We'll see. And then the G90 is actually in the positive for the year, or really close to it. So Genesis just struggling. Acura on the year down 15%, but if you look at Q3, guys, they're surging right now. Well, they're up, up 1.6%. That's incredible. And then if we look at Nissan, guys, because that's the most worrisome one for me out of the brands I cover, of course. Nissan overall, when you lump them with Mitsubishi, 30% down. Nissan by themselves down 32% because Mitsubishi is up on the quarter and not suffering as bad as the rest of the company, down 24% on the year compared to Nissan Infiniti, or I should say Nissan total for the year, down 37%. And they're not rallying very well. You look at these Q3, and that's not the jump that they need. They need a massive jump. If you look at Subaru, down about 17 on the year, but they had a jump in the right direction, about 9% on the quarter, where Nissan's really close to their yearly average right here in the 30s, minus 30. Now, besides Tesla and Lamborghini and these kind of outliers, I'm looking in Q3 here, I'm not seeing a whole lot of 30% down. We see Dodge here, but really it seems that Nissan is struggling the absolute most in Q3 compared to everyone else, and obviously as well on the year, besides outliers like Tesla and the luxury brands. And I like Volvo, guys. I have a soft spot for Volvo, so I just want to touch on them. Up 11% on the quarter. That is crazy. They still don't sell a lot of cars, but only down about 5% on the year. I really think that's impressive. And yeah, I got a soft spot for Volvo. Moving forward, 2022 Nissan Frontier Extended Cab Prototype shows a new design, and they caught it out in the wild. That's what it looks like. Looks like a Nissan Frontier to me. I know it's completely redesigned, and it looks very Tacoma-ish mixed with a little bit of Dodge Dakota. But yeah, it's a small sized, small, right? Everything's getting bigger. Just look at this Civic, right? And we know it's going to have the new 3.8 liter V6, which is currently in use. They slotted it in for the 2020 model, and it will have an updated 9-speed automatic transmission. So the small pickup truck segment, strong as always. This will be good for Nissan. Probably one of the few bright spots of Nissan as long as with the Rogue we got this year is a good bright spot for Nissan. But yeah, it's gonna be tough for them. They're down 30% on the year. It's really hard to say what's gonna happen to them in the next couple of years unless things radically change in the right direction for them. So, well guys, what do you think? Are you excited for the new MDX? Make sure to stop by October 14th. We'll have a heck of a time talking about the prototype, the concept. I guess yeah, they're calling it a prototype. Like we got the Prototype Z. And I do expect it to be pretty much production ready, minus a few details. Now, I don't expect it to be like the QX60 monograph unveil that we had where it was just the body. I'm really hoping Acura shows the interior as well as talk about, powertrains, even though we already know about that. But if you made it this far in the video, you haven't hit the like button, go ahead and do that. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm still working on that CHR review, and I'll get it to you probably by Monday at this point. So